You ever feel just stuck? You know that feeling, right? Like you're on one side of a cliff, you can see exactly where you need to be on the other side, but you just can't make yourself move. It's that gap, the one between knowing what you should do and actually, well, doing it. So that's what we're going to tackle today. Let's figure out how to close that gap. Okay, picture this. It's a super hot day. You're standing right at the edge of a swimming pool. The water looks incredible. But then, your adult brain just kicks into overdrive, doesn't it? Is the water going to be too cold? What if I belly flop? Maybe I should stretch first, find the perfect way to get in. And while you're doing all that, some little kid just barrels past you, lets out a scream of pure joy, and bam, jumps right in. Huge splash, no hesitation.
And that right there is our whole problem in a nutshell, isn't it? See, our brain is designed to calculate, to worry, to avoid any kind of risk. The kid, they're just running on pure joy and impulse. And it just shows you, readiness isn't some destination you arrive at after endless planning. No, it's something you discover in that split second you decide to just jump.
All right, let's get into part one. Now, this is going to sound a little weird, but stick with me. You're already a winner. The only question is, are you winning at the right game? Let's talk about how we can be absolute experts at getting in our own way and not even know it.
So let's take Emma, for example. Emma had this amazing idea for her own consulting business. Super smart, totally capable, and she did everything by the book. I mean, she spent months crafting the perfect business plan, analyzing every single market trend. She was absolutely winning at preparation, at being realistic. But the real game, the one called actually starting the business, she was losing that one. Big time.
And there's actually a name for what Emma was doing. It's called sophisticated procrastination. I love this term because it's so true. It's one we use our own wisdom, our own sense of being practical, as this perfect disguise for our fear of just doing the thing. It's the most acceptable, even praised, way to stay stuck right where you are.
So here's the real key, the big takeaway from this. Willingness is not that big burst of motivation you feel on a Sunday night, when you plan your whole week. No, it's the quiet choice you make to act even when you're scared, even when you feel totally not ready. It's about sending that one email or making that one phone call. It is a choice, it's not a feeling you wait for.
Okay, moving on to part two. This is where we're going to pull back the curtain on our mind's favorite tricks. We're going to get to know that constant chatter in our heads, and maybe, just maybe, learn how to make friends with it.
You know this feeling. You're at work, and you get that message from your boss. Just 4 simple words. Can we talk later? And immediately, your brain creates an entire disaster movie, right? In just a few minutes, you've imagined every possible worst-case scenario. This is what our minds do. They hijack the present with these totally made-up future disasters.
So, how do we deal with this? Well, instead of fighting it, let's try befriending it. First up, give your anxiety a silly name. Seriously, call it Linda the Catastrophizer or Worry Walter. So when it shows up, you can just go, "Hey, thanks for your opinion, Walter, but I got this." Second, track it. For 1 week, write down all your worried predictions. You are going to be amazed at how few of them actually come true. And third, take it on little dates. Uncertainty dates. Try a new route to work, order something different. Build up your tolerance for the unknown one tiny step at a time.
Think of your mind like a radio station that's just always on. It's tuned to one station, WMND. That's worry, maybe not, and doubt. It's just playing that constant commentary in the background. But here's the secret. Just because the radio's on doesn't mean you have to listen to it. You don't have to dance to every single song. You can just let it play in the background while you choose your own beat.
We get this so backwards. We think we have to feel motivated before we can act. But that's like sitting in a freezing cold car on a winter morning and just thinking really hard about the engine warming up. It doesn't work. The car warms up when you start driving it. It's the exact same with you. Your motivation, your confidence, it all shows up after you start moving, not before. Okay, on to part 3. And this is a big one. We're going to talk about what might be the single biggest source of our frustration. That huge, gaping canyon between the perfect movie playing in our heads and the messy, unpredictable reality of life. I want you to try this, for real. Grab 2 pieces of paper. On the first one, I want you to write down your perfect mental movie for some situation, how it should go. All the perfect details, the perfect ending. Got it? Okay. Now, on the second piece of paper, write down what's actually happening. The messy parts, the unpredictable stuff. That gap between those 2 pages, that is the exact amount of energy you're burning trying to control something you just can't.
I mean, think about it. You can have a relationship that is 90% amazing, but it feels broken. You can have a job that's 90% great, but it feels soul-crushing. Why is that? It's because we're not focused on the 90% that's working. Our brain zooms in, laser focus, on that 10% that doesn't match our perfect script. And that tiny little gap is enough to poison the whole thing.
So here's the shift. It's simple, but it's powerful. Instead of demanding that things go perfectly, get curious. Start asking a different kind of question. So when stuff doesn't go your way, instead of asking, why is this happening to me, try asking, what could I discover here? What might I learn from this? It completely changes the game. It turns frustration into discovery.
All right, let's bring it all home now with part 4. We've talked about willingness, making friends with our worries, and dropping those crazy expectations. Now it's time for all that insight to meet reality. It's time for your 3-day challenge.
And this is the most important thing to remember, the core principle of all of this. We think we have to fix our internal world first, our thoughts, our feelings, before we can change anything on the outside. But it is the exact opposite. Taking one small external action is the spark that ignites the internal motivation you've been waiting for.
And the psychologist Carl Jung just nailed it with this. He said, you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. And really, what else is there to say? At the end of the day, all the thinking, all the planning, all the talking, it doesn't define you. Your actions do. So, here it is, the challenge. And I promise it's incredibly simple. Step 1, pick just one, tiny, specific behavior you want to change. Step 2, commit to it for just 3 days. That's it. Not your whole life, just 3 days. And if you stumble, who cares? Just revise the plan and keep going. The whole point is consistency, not perfection.
And when I say small, I mean ridiculously small. We're talking about putting your phone in another room while you eat dinner, or taking the stairs just once, or maybe doing the world's absolute worst, most pathetic 5-minute workout. The goal is to make it so easy, so simple, that your brain can't even come up with a good excuse not to do it. This is all about proving to yourself that you can act.
So that's it. Everything we've talked about, all the ideas, it all comes down to this one question. A question for you. What is your one action? Don't just think about it. Pick it right now and start your 3 days.